people are just getting right on. It's chicks and ducks and geese gonna scurry when I take you out in the Surrey. When I take you out in the Surrey with the fringe. Are the chicks and ducks and geese better scurry? Chicks and ducks and geese better scurry when I take you out in the Surrey. When I take you out in the Surrey with the fringe on top. I did that once in college. Entire auditorium. Everyone dying laughing on the floor. I wasn't even really trying to be funny either. I did it like this. Chicks and ducks and geese gonna scurry when I take you out in the Surrey. When I take you out in the Surrey with the fringe on top. But I hit a better note on with the fringe on top. I mean, just the entire auditorium, everybody dying laughing. And I was sitting there, what? So the whole thing about Oklahoma and me doing the chicks and ducks and geese gonna scurry and everyone dying laughing, I think it was because they knew the voice teachers had got a hold of me and like really wanted me to belt down and try to, I always wanted to be in a musical. I was always in the straight plays or the comedies. I did play Menechme and the Menechme Twins. No, I didn't play Menechme, I'm sorry, I played Sponge. I was in Menechme, I didn't play Menechme. I was in Menechme, but the character I played was Paniculus, which was kind of like a clownish character that kind of one of the centers of the play. He introduced the play and stuff. It was a children's play. We toured it around town, different elementary schools. The kids really loved it. They loved it. I've done a few children's plays. That was one children's play I did. I did another one where I played the gander in Charlotte's Web. But the Oklahoma incident, you know, me singing chicks and ducks and geese gonna scurry when I take you out in the Surrey, or chicks and ducks and geese better scurry. That one got their attention, and then boy, I mean, they were just dying laughing. And it kind of hit me because it was the first time that I went out there and really kind of took a song real serious. And when I started singing it in front of everyone, I mean, everyone was just dying laughing. And I thought maybe there's something there, because they're really laughing. Well, I hated when people would say, you know, Cole, they're laughing at you, not with you. I never understood that. And what difference does it make? If they're laughing at me, they're still laughing, rather than laughing with you. But it was like, I think certain people were maybe jealous that I got some laughs. You know, I finally got some laughs. Oh, big time cows. Yeah, you can see the cows there, but I never really understood laughing at you. Like, you know, Cole, you're stupid. You're a fool. We're laughing at you. Ha 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 ha. You know, ha ha ha. You'll shoot your eye out. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. You know, that kind of thing. Who cares? And who cares if they're laughing at me? Who cares? They're still laughing. You know, I don't know. I guess the grace of the comedian. Oh, they're laughing with you. No, they're still laughing at you. You know, because you're out there trying to be funny. They're laughing at you and with you. It's never one or the other. It's always the same. They're laughing with you and at you, right? If you're a comedian, you know, I mean, you know, it's hard to say the grace of the comedian, the grace of the comic genius, you know, it's the same. Laughing at you and laughing with you. I mean, I wasn't really laughing at that moment. I was trying to sing a song, you know? So maybe they were laughing at me, but, you know, maybe some were laughing with me, or maybe they appreciated the song. I got a lot of congratulations. They're like, "They're a really good song on Oklahoma." I was like, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. You know, I appreciate it. You know, so what? You know, I worked on it with a piano and a voice teacher. You know, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Carrie, she gets covered in pig crap, and they laugh at her. And, you know, Stephen King's Carrie. And she's covered, and she's like, "Oh my God, oh!" It wasn't like, you know, it doesn't. I don't know if it really matters, you know. I mean, I don't know. You know, a Charlie Chaplin, did they laugh at him or laugh with him? I think they probably did both at times, maybe at some time. I mean, things were bad back when he was performing. A lot of people got laughed at. Oh yeah, we're at the Speedway, and there's like a car on this side of the road right here. And that's like, ha ha, you know, it's like, who cares? I mean, I guess in a certain sense, Oklahoma wasn't exactly the most serious play. It wasn't like I was doing Hamlet, but I didn't really do the whole play. I was just doing a little audition piece with it. Or maybe they were laughing with me. I don't know. I guess what that means was laughing with you means that the comic genius was making the audience laugh and controlling them like a puppeteer, kind of like Jim Carrey does. And he was controlling them so that they would laugh at his command. I command you to laugh. I command you to laugh, right? So they would laugh at that moment. Like, you ever seen Inner Laughing, where the guy comes in, he has to forcibly laugh? Like, right? Yeah, maybe you're like, this guy's stupid, he's out of control, It's like, who cares, Maybe someone watches it and like gets a laugh out of it. Maybe another guy thinks he's stupid. I'm sure people thought Charlie Chaplin was probably stupid, and then some people thought he was graceful and a wonderful comedian that could control laughter. I control laughter. Ha ha ha. Yeah, and the director's out in the audience and says, "Laughter, dear boy, laughter. You want to go in laughing. You enter laughing." So the actor, comes in the stage. He's like, real Martin Scorsese. Boy, try laughter. Because he wanted him to really laugh. And they're like, no. Boy, you're laughing. You enter laughing. And he was practicing laughing, right? And because he couldn't laugh, he couldn't really come in and like really laugh, It's like, no, dear boy, try laughing. You're laughing. Enter laughing. Here's the pattern of the woo, for what I know, on his road trip. Most likely he left Florida. He probably went through like the Georgia and all that kind of stuff. Basically ended up in Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama. That was with him and Bam and Mike. Then he went probably all the way up north, kind of towards the Fargo area, but then got into Nebraska. Then he did a whole Nebraska thing. He went back down with the whole Donner Party thing, going to California probably. Left his car there in Orange County, where he used to live. Walked around Orange County, did all that kind of stuff. Jumped on a plane, probably John Wayne Airport. I need to find the city code on that one. Then he flew from John Wayne Airport, probably, I'm assuming, I could be wrong, but Orange County. Then he flew all the way up to Seattle. Did his whole thing with the needle in Seattle. Okay, the big and giant needle thing that he got up on top of and looked over. Then he flew back from Seattle. Don't know for sure if he hit Portland. If he did, he probably would have done a Goonies filming location. But he did fly back and then got back into his car. And then he drove Southern California and now met up with Natalie. And they're looking at an Angels game. They're watching an Angels game. So his next move could possibly straight across, probably through Arizona, maybe even by the Grand Canyon. He could go straight across and he'd go right through Texas and then go straight up Missouri and hit back on Route 66, then end up in Chicago. And then maybe like New York, and then I looked at the city code for John Wayne Airport, which is in Orange County. I flew out of it myself one time. It's JWA. Remember that scene in Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure where he walks up, Paul Rubens playing Pee Wee Herman, walks up and accidentally his elbow hits the bike and it falls over and the bikes collapse and domino, and then the bikers come out. He's like, ah! And they throw him up against the table. Remember that? And I can't remember what it said, but it's in repetition for a while. And he's like laying there, and then he goes, wait, give me one shot. And the dun 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 dun, and he gets up on his toes, up on the bar. The dun 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 dun. He's throwing the bottles down. Tequila. Right, we're back at Taco Bell right now. I do see Taco Bell as an omen. It's true. I don't eat Taco Bell. Oh, look, they're from Florida. The reason why is there's some reasons why. It kind of goes back to high school. It's a long story. I was dating this girl in high school that I wanted to desperately marry, and it didn't work out. So I had to move on in my life, and then she moved on to her life. But at the time, every once in a while, I would get in my little Porsche. I had this little Porsche, this little car. And I'd get in my little Porsche and I'd go drive to Taco Bell. Or sometimes my mom had this Ford Focus. Or something, I think it was a Ford Focus. I don't remember it. May not have been. I think maybe it was. It was some type of Ford. It was a Ford car. And I'd jump in the car sometimes and I'd go to Taco Bell and I'd go get a burrito. I kind of blame Taco Bell for the failure of... Anyway, I'm picking this up for somebody else, though. They have the cherry sunrise freeze, meaning I blame Taco Bell for getting in the way of that, I guess maybe that possible marriage or something. Because I crave Taco Bell all the time, and I was eating Taco Bell. I like to get those bean burritos, you know, with cheese and maybe like a soft taco every once in a while. Do you know how, like, incredibly bad Taco Bell is for you? I just don't eat Taco Bell. But I will eat Taco Bueno. And also I eat Fuzzy's tacos, too. I do eat those, but just... not Taco Bell. David Lynch kind of thing right here. It's very David Lynch on the Taco Bell. Here we go. We're gonna see some cows. And here they come. Hey cows, why don't you move? Sit there all day chewing. Moo! Moo! Mama cow, look at me chew. I just sit there all day. I don't know how to move. Pretty funny when the carpetbagger said the couch. Sitting on the couch. There's a lonely horse way over that way. You see it? Looks like someone was riding it from it. It's just sitting. It's just kind of leaning over the fence, kind of thing. Pretty cool. Welcome to Keller. I've even seen the jail. Yeah. So yeah, they got me on a unpaid speeding ticket because my lawyer failed to inform me of what was going on. I hired a lawyer to fight the ticket. They told me not to show up to the trial or anything. They told me just to stay put, and they got me. I found out that that lawyer wasn't doing his job. He's supposed to contact me and tell me. All I had to do that day was go up to Louisville and pay $60 on a payment plan. And I had it that day too. But instead, handcuffs and 17 hours. I don't remember exactly how long it was. Pretty unfair indeed. It'd be impossible to say if that police officer's still working. I would assume not. That's okay. There's other jobs like, I don't know. It's always Uber. I just remember the mask, my mask that I was wearing that day. After he had handcuffed me, it was still in my hand, and it was debatable on whether I was going to wear the mask while I was in the back of the cop car. But it was in my hand, so I was handcuffed, but I held on to the mask until I got to the police department in Keller, and then I released the mask. I had no choice in that. Never asked me if I was vaccinated, not once. No talk of vaccination or CDC at all. To them, it was a myth. So luckily, I was able to get out. But I'm not going to tell you about the anonymous donor that released me. I'm not going to say it was Tom Cruise or anything like that, or Bradley Cooper gave me the money. But I'm not going to say who the anonymous donor was, the person that freed me that day. But the next thing that they were going to do is transfer me, and I was waiting either to be transferred or if I couldn't get the money. The payment was $400, and that was for the ticket. That was for the cost of the ticket, which I could have got on a payment plan that day, and I'd have been way okay. I did end up paying it though, because I went back to the Louisville headquarters or whatever it was, and they told me that it was still active. So I got on a payment plan. They said, okay, everything's okay now. Paid it off, and then they got in touch with me in person at the county clerk, and he told me in person, he said it was already paid, and it was like the person put anonymous on it. Isn't that amazing? And listen, let me tell you something. It was a speed trap from the beginning when it happened in Louisville. There's a speed trap over there. I've gone over it a few vlogs right off Fox. The road is called Fox. And they just sit there right in front of that Latino grocery store. Or they used to. I don't know if it's still speed trap or whatever. But when you're on Fox, slow down. It happened on the bridge. I was on this top part of the bridge, and he zapped me with the radar gun or whatever you call it, the laser, and when I was coming back down. So when I got a hold of the lawyer, it was for fighting tickets out of Arlington. He said, don't worry about it. They sent me emails saying everything, we're gonna get it dismissed or whatever. So in my mind, it was, and the officer told me, they don't always send you out information about what's going on. It's sad that they have to do that when there's dangerous or violent criminals that they don't even really work as hard or is not as crafty at doing, protecting us from. I'm a God-fearing man that believes in Jesus Christ, and I am not saying that the officer wasn't the same, but there is a verse that says, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And I did see a Shakespeare play where they called the gun the sword. So, in other words, you live by your gun, you will die by your gun. Meaning you live by the gun, you die by the gun. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. He said, put it away. But who am I to judge, right? Although, what happened to George Byrne, I'm sorry, not George Byrne, he was an actor. What happened to George Floyd, there's the City of Killer thing right there. That, my friend, was not protocol at all. And I don't think they were following protocol with me either. Abuse of power is when you don't know how to follow protocol, or when you abuse protocol. If you don't follow the protocol is to de-escalate and be kind. The protocol is always to de-escalate. Now, with the Casey White incident that just now happened, I don't know the details of that, but I would like to reinvestigate that whole case to get DNA to see exactly how that murder went down, because it sounds funny. He was paid by somebody, a murder for hire, to murder someone's mother. It sounds strange. Now, Vicky, of course, killed herself over the incident. And if they knew 100% that Casey White was guilty, then they should go after him dangerously. But they went after him more in a legalistic fashion. And that probably all that legalism caused Vicky White to kill herself. I don't know about de-escalation on that one, because someone died out of all that. And do you really think that Casey White probably would have harmed someone? Well, only God would know. Like I said, if they reinvestigate everything and find out that the DNA doesn't match whatever happened with Casey White, at least they're absolutely sure, which they could be. But, you don't really know. Remember, there's been people on death row, that they have gone back with DNA and exonerated. It's happened in every single case. I'm sorry, not every single case with the DNA, meaning when they went and did research on DNA on certain cases, it was 100% conclusive on that particular case that person was innocent, is what I'm saying. And they had released them from death row. Not in every death row case, because they've killed plenty of people on death row. But there's so many Christians that raise their head high. They raise their head high and they say, oh, well, death row, the death penalty, oh yeah, sure, and I'm a proud Christian. They will live by the gun and they will die by that same gun. They know the heart of Jesus. And who was a murderer? The person that wrote their book. St. Paul was one of the worst murderers of all times. He wrote your book, people. It's a cool lamp. These are really cool right here. Message to all the people that are getting in their way and they've got millions of dollars, or they're real comfortable living in a nice house and they're getting all the things they do, if they want to do artwork, whatever the heck they're doing, and they're getting their way while other people are starving to death. Let me tell you something. You're only here for a blink of an eye. That pleasure is only going to be there for that. It's a blink of an eye and you're gone. And when you burn in hell, you burn in hell forever. Me, I will be at the feast forever, and you'll be watching me feast. You'll be watching me feast forever. Now, do you want to watch me eat forever while you burn in hell? When you surrender your life over to Jesus Christ, which I have, I will live with the Messiah forever. And there will be a feast at the table. When you burn in hell forever, you'll sizzle and beg for a drop of water. It's been written. It's prophecy. The one thing that he'll say is that I know you, you may enter. Do you know Christ? You get everything you want, everything's going your way. Get ready to sizzle. And those that will laugh. They'll laugh, they'll be laughing. Look, see him? See the person? See them? They're laughing. They're going to sizzle. Because that laughter is going to help them pay for this for what they're going to do, and which is going to burn in hell. It's part of the little payment that they get now. It's part of the little common grace that they get, little thing that they use. I guess maybe the laughter, they don't really understand that it's true. But if you really were going to be thrown into a pit of fire, do you think you would be laughing if you really knew? Only the witches. See, when they looked at Christ, they saw him on the cross, they knew 100% that he was not a criminal. The Romans did. They looked up at him and they knew, just by looking at him, they knew he was not a criminal. So what they did is they did a little math in their head. The Roman soldiers were good at math. Some of them, most of them maybe not that so good, but anyway, they knew basic math pretty much, probably like what an elementary school person would know. But anyway, they did the simple math in their head, the basic math in their head. Since they knew that this man was not a criminal, but yet he was hanging and dying a criminal's death on the cross, they did the math and they figured it out, that he must be the Son of God.